like it blew it from a ball, you would say that if everything came out and the Big Bang made space, then sure, like space has to be made up of something, which you could say it was atoms. Like it was swimming through atoms. I would agree with that.
Well, yeah.
Because
To me, the
again,
Big Bang made or it just distributed the atoms.
okay, well, I mean, is there space between atoms?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is. Okay, well, so then there's space, and then there's atoms, and there's space between these atoms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so right, so and then the universe, you would say is it every like Milky Ways are basically a collection of like I'm saying all the space between Milky Ways, like galaxies and shit. Would you say
No.
that's like
Yeah. Our galaxy is
no?
the Milky Way is the name of our galaxy.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm saying the space between galaxies. Would you say that space, like because it's so much of a distance, maybe that there are no atoms within certain parts of that space?
Absolutely. Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah. No, there
Okay,
is.
like
Yeah, there is
that's
an atoms in
okay.
certain
Okay.
and like, yeah. Yeah, for sure. And most of space is empty and doesn't have any atoms in it.
Okay, so then space itself is not made up of atoms, but
No. No.
atoms,
It's a
okay, are
vacuum.
in space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So okay, so I'm made up of so everything besides space, you could say we could potentially say is made up of atoms because again, like
Sure.
atoms are the
Yeah.
start, like something's got to be there to make this stuff. It's like the
Yeah.
leftover debris coming together making different shit.
Yeah. And
Um,
our atmosphere is made out of like, hydrogen
right,
and
like you could kind of think of it as like a
nitrogen and
gas
stuff.
or something, right?
Yeah, there's gas
Right.
in the room that you're in and stuff, oxygen and carbon dioxide and nitrogen.
Sure.
I
Okay,
think.
well
Yeah.
that's like in my head I think of it like almost like an invisible gas that
Yeah, exactly.
like we're walking through. Well, no,
Yeah.
well we're kind of walking through it. I'd say because in our galaxy there's probably a lot of it in our galaxy, and it's probably like air like that's something, right?
Well, yeah, no, the gas tends to be
Right.
attracted to the big, what do you call it? Well, I guess there's probably just like rogue, maybe some like rogue oxygen atoms, maybe.
I'm saying too, but I'm saying oxygen's made
Yeah.
up of atoms. There's oxygen in the air. Air's
Yeah,
gotta be
yeah,
made
yeah.
up of probably atoms. So like technically you could say we're swimming through atoms in
For
our
sure.
system,
Yeah, no, without a
our
doubt. Yeah,
galaxy.
definitely.
Okay. Um. So.
But mass attracts mass attracts mass as well. So like, there's the way we have gravity is because we're magnetically kind of like attracted to more mass. You know. You know what I'm saying? That's why planets form spheres as well, is because they're all kind of like attracted to the mass, and the mass condenses in the middle.
Oh well, yeah, yeah. Like, well, it's the way I think of it is like uh, the the bigger like it starts. I mean, again, a planet has to have started most likely as like a little dot, and slowly gathered more and more dirt, whatever. Eventually, over time, it became a giant planet or whatever.
Yeah, sometimes
Um,
that kind of thing happens.
something
Right.
like that. Yeah, like yeah.
Well, yeah,
Um,
it like explodes, and then it's like when you see like water in space. You know what I mean? Like they form little spheres, like bubbles. And if you were to break it up, if you were to get like a water bomb and you in a space station and just burst it, then little ball droplets would go all everywhere, all different sizes.
Yeah, well, the difference with that is like it's all about size. Like the reason that we're really 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 fucking small, like extremely small compared to our galaxy, which is probably why we're able to actually if there was like a bigger creature, I'm thinking on our planet, would our gravity or a smaller creature? Well, does gravity affect? Yeah, gravity affects a smaller thing on our planet than we. Yeah, fuck yeah. Like gravity to us is, it's got to be way more to like an ant than it is to a fucking human. Like an ant tries to jump, I got to
No,
assume it
nah,
experiences.
no, because
Thing.
they've got less mass, so gravity doesn't affect them as much.
Okay, so it's okay opposite way. So if something bigger,
Yeah, yeah. The bigger it is, the heavier it is,
okay,
or the denser it is. You know.
well the denser, yeah, but that's I mean, if we're talking, okay, well, I'm saying
Denser
that's
just mean
weird.
yeah. Anyway.
Well, I get denser. Like, I understand, like, of course, the denser something is, the heavier it's going to be, the harder it's going to be to get off the ground. But I'm
Hmm.
talking about gravity affecting that object. Like, I'm saying, one way that I think of gravity is like sand surrounding a ball, right? And the sand, like, the bigger the object gets, the more sand that stacks upon that ball. Therefore, that's the gravity. That's why, like, everything is stuck down, kind of, because there's more gravity. Like, as you know, as you get out to space, you break through the gravity. Like, it starts to yeah, dissipate, whatever you call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, we can get out of our gravity,
Hmm.
because there's
Dissipate.
less, like, it. Yeah, it like spreads. Yeah,
Hmm.
kind of. So the further you come down, the more, is gravity more prevalent in the center, like, of the Earth? If you, like, went closer to the center, would there be more gravity?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No,
I'm not sure. Okay. We might. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Maybe. I think I'm not sure about that, to be honest. If
It's weird.
if
Yeah.
gravity's worse in the middle, if there's more pressure in the middle, it might be.
Well, because
I
see,
don't think so. It doesn't seem
no, the
intuitive
only
it would be.
no. I don't think so, because I don't think gravity. No, gravity. I don't think can penetrate. It's not a penetrative.
Yeah, it does. What do you mean?
Doesn't, because that's why there's like, gravity shifts. Gravity bounces off itself.
Huh?
Like
It,
it
it's just like it's like imagine it like a magnetic force. Is like the way that I think about it.
well I'm what
So
I'm well what
it
I'm saying
affects all
is,
of you. It affects all of your atoms the same way in your body.
yeah. Yeah, and one reason, well, right now, like, it keeps all of my fucking, my insides from, they say, moving
It's pulling.
around and
Yeah,
shit.
it's pulling them all down.
Yeah, well, it's pulling, yeah, my whole body down, right?
Yeah, every
But,
atom.
okay, but, hmm. Well, what I was saying about it not penetrating, that was, let me see, I'm thinking, because I thought I had another, at least another way to look at it. If it
Hmm.
might still not be right. But, well, what is pressure chamber? Like, what is, they give you stuff like
Pressure chamber would
like
be
there's
like lots of atoms condensed into one space. Like if they just kept like used if they used energy to force gas into a room. In this case, they'd force like oxygen or something you could breathe, oxygen and CO2 into a room. That would be a pressure chamber, and it's like why underwater like there's lots of pressure. It's because you have the weight of the water on you.
well, yeah. So whenever you're in a suit, you got to keep it pressurized. Whenever you go into space, like, they got to make sure it's at a certain pressure and shit while they're in their suit, like, especially when they go outside and stuff.
Yeah, they don't want too
They
much.
got, yeah,
They don't want too much pressure. Yeah. So
but that's,
there's like enormous pressure on the suit or the outside, and that's pressure from it. Like
well,
I don't
what
know.
they're doing is, like, I think in the suit they're trying to match the pressure outside because it's more, and they're trying to match
Yeah,
or
there's like
something like
there's some
that.
kind of negative pressure outside that.
Right,
Like,
I'm not an astronaut, so I don't know, dude.
yeah,
Like,
I'm not sure.
that's
Yeah,
something like
I
I
don't
knew there
know
was some
either.
pressure,
But yeah.
but I'm okay. But I was saying, like, it seems weird. Like, I don't know, gravity and the whole going through shit seems weird because if it, why? Well, see, when a planet gets so big, right? When it gets so much mass, it, like, eventually it collapses in on itself, and that's gotta be, like, the way I see it is it's due to the fact that the planet is so big that it has got, like, the gravity that surrounds it is stacked back so far it can't the planet cannot withstand the weight of that gravity anymore. Like that's just it. Like there is a limit to everything. And once that planet gets so big that gravity has been pushed so much and is stacked on top of that thing so much, it eventually says, oh, I can't handle it, and that gravity starts to fucking crush that planet, and it starts to whatever they call it, and eventually that gravity all goes into a single tiny little itty bitty fucking tiny like little bitty the smallest you know what I mean? It tries like it's like it's from every angle it's hitting
Yeah,
itself
it's a black hole.
Yeah, and then
That's what happens when the stars get too big. Or I think.
Like I would say the gravity collapses in on itself.
Yeah, there's like not enough energy to like the pressure. Like I don't know. I'm not sort of on them.
I'm trying to imagine. I'm trying to imagine like something crashing into a certain point and hitting it so fucking hard. Like what would happen? And I mean, what happens is it goes. You know what it must do? It's got to go in a whirl, like a spin, bro. That's the only thing that could possibly happen, right? Because it's like it's like wind or like water or something. It's similar to that, in the sense that it's not like a solid. You know what I mean? It can bend and all that shit. So I think that once this gravity from all angles just crashes in on itself, the only option is for that shit to spin and start just constantly fucking spinning around, and creates, I guess, a black hole.
Yeah, I don't know what happens with a black hole. Apparently, people think it enters like another dimension.
I mean, it could very well just be a ripping
Space time. Yeah.
Whatever space is, yeah. But also, what happens when water crashes in on itself? It creates a vortex, don't it? And it creates a funnel, right?
Well, no, that's when there's a vacuum beneath it. It's going somewhere, you know.
Well, the vacuum is spinning, right? Or
yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like if the water, like if somehow it's able to crash in and start spinning itself, like it hit so hard that it started, like it had, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what a black hole does as well.
I'm trying to think of like a solid object that does that, but I don't think solid objects would just destroy themselves. Like I don't think that'd even be possible.
But it's not
like
quite the black hole and the whirlpool aren't quite the same thing. Well, they are comparable,
no,
but
I'm referencing them to like they're kind of similar in that. They're
no, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Wavy and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I think that's weird, frequencies. Like frequencies are kind of weird, man. 'Cause that's like it's weird. That's what is that? Like a fucking sound that like there's frequencies that we can't hear. That can stretch across like fucking vast. It's weird, man. Like that's a whole nother, like would that be a whole nother? That's weird, man. That a whole nother plane of that's a whole nother plane of existence for some things, dude. Like a bat, or you know what I mean? Things that can only hear is like fucking reality has got to be completely different.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
just
crazy.
how often a wave, or how often an energy signature spikes, or whatever. Like that's kind of what they're looking for when they're looking around.
But yeah, I always thought that's kind of weird. The whole frequency shit's kind of weird.
Yeah. I think like the whole like quantum physicsy shit is weird.
Like one thing that blows my mind is like what's frequent? Like how small does something get? Like we keep going like smaller and smaller, right? We just keep getting like eventually we get technology that somehow. Like when we discovered that God particle, right? We just happened to build the shit that we was able to discover it, and then now we're trying to build the next thing to see what's after that. Like
it's kind of infinite.
Yeah, so it's weird, but see, then you gotta think like frequencies they're the same then, right? They gotta be, right? There's like saying, like frequencies can only keep going lower and higher. There's no end to them, right? Like it's weird.
I guess so. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm based on the first thing. You might say the second, but I got you. Yeah, frequencies are different or a little weird. It's all weird, man. Like, back to the creator thing, though, man. I mean, we are, if we could manipulate atoms, we would. Like to the
I mean,
extent. To
I'm
the
not saying it's
extent.
yeah, it's not impossible that we were like that our universe was created by
I'm not even
some
saying the
kind of
universe. I'm saying certain things could have been put together by certain, like, you know what I mean? Like, again, our atoms can make up vastly different things, man. Apparently, it makes up everything.
yeah,
Right?
but I
So
know I know how that happened though. Like to me, the mystery is like, what do you call it? Is why physics? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like why is it that an atom has a shell of 12 and then 8? Like why is it stable at 2 and then and it's probably just some shape thing. But it's just like why physics? Like, you know what I mean? Like why do atoms have the
physics.
properties that they do?
Well, I mean, they're there. We just okay. Like, why physics? See,
Why does it?
to me,
Why
to me
physics?
that's the same question as like why the universe? Because I mean, we made up physics. Like as far
Yeah,
as I mean, well,
exactly. No, it
physics
is
were
the same
there, but
question.
we.
But I don't know. For me, it's not why. I understand why life is. Because like if life didn't exist, then it wouldn't exist. And there's plenty of life that doesn't exist. It died. You know what I mean?
If life didn't exist, it wouldn't exist. What?
Yeah, like it's just incidental that life exists. Like you can like any life that that doesn't have the drive to propagate dies, and they don't pass on their genes. So life just incidentally exists it because if it because when it doesn't, it stops propagating. Do you know what I'm saying?
I
So
mean,
like if imagine like I don't know, a whole species just stopped having the will to propagate, they'd die. So like the only reason that they
but they
feel the
weren't
need to
life.
propagate is because that's
Mhm.
just the pattern that has continued to exist. Yeah.
I mean,
And
it's weird though, but
it all stems
life
back
is
from the
life was
electromagnetism.
there. Like if I was a new life, I could look back at past life and say, hey, life was, here before. So I mean, it
No, but
does
what do you
exist
mean you how would you
between us.
what do you mean we'd be able to look at back at past life?
Well, I'm saying like dinosaurs. Like we see dinosaurs lived millions of years ago. They were
Yeah,
life
yeah, but
back
they had the
then.
same thing. Like they died because of a fucking meteor.
Yeah, but I'm saying it doesn't negate like the fact that life is there, like was there, or has been there.
Yeah. No, I'm not negating that. I'm just saying I know why life exists because I know how. Oh, sorry, I know how life came to be. So it's all just
Well, yeah, well, I agree with you.
it's just
Evolution.
basic magnetism. That's basically it. It's
Again,
just
see, I've always like I agree 100%. It's evolution, or we evolved over time and shit. Like
yeah.
all that's like pretty obvious. Again, but like see, to how like I, to say we can go back, like it's weird, man. It's I get like you could say why is it weird, nah, 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 nah. But like it's like you're saying that it's like you're saying like you found like I don't know. People always ask where did humans come from and shit. Like
I know
you're
where
like
they
saying
came from.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. But I'm saying it's weird because I would say like make me a human or something. It's weird. Like what? It's so strange. Like you have a definitive answer because
It's
it
hard to
doesn't
make a
seem.
human. Like
No, no. Here
it
you
take a
go. Here
lot
you
of
go. It's
work.
weird. It's weird that you have a definitive answer to a question that like a lot of people don't seem to have an answer to. Like,
Well, because they
you're
won't
like the only.
they won't emotionally allow themselves to face why
See, it's
or
not
how.
that. Like I just don't like. I don't. It's weird. I gotta look at your evidence. Like it's strange. Like I'm not saying you're wrong, but I
Yeah,
think
the
like it's
evidence
more.
Is DNA throughout history and
Well, yeah.
evolution. Like they've mapped evolution pretty in quite a lot of detail.
Okay, okay, sure. But again, I'm saying like, where did they stop at, and why did they stop?
They stop at like quantum physics because they don't have the necessary what do you call it? They don't have the necessary technology to understand it.
But there's a point where they stop because we can only go so far back.
Yeah, we don't have the technology to look beyond beyond smaller and smaller elemental parts. You know, they have the big Hadron Collider to break shit up, but you could break that shit up again. You know, like, and there's stuff that the electrons do that we have no idea why they do them. Like we don't even know exactly how electrons behave. Like when you look at them, they behave differently, and we're not so consciousness somehow affects the ways that electrons behave, which is really strange and weird.
Oh, dude, you know what I was thinking like a little bit ago? I was thinking of like, I have eyes, right? You have eyes, right? They see, right? But do they only see because your brain can process the information, right?
Wait, one more time.
Your eyes, like I'm saying, your eyes do all the work as far as absorbing light, and basically they absorb light, and they're able to shine pretty much kind of everything to you by absorbing in whatever you want to call it. I don't know the science of shit, but I know they absorb light and shit, and that's a part of it. But I'm saying, without my brain, would my eyes matter? Like, they wouldn't matter.
No, they wouldn't.
Exactly, they wouldn't fucking matter. There's no point to them.
The things only matter to conscious things.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
and if you don't have a brain, you're not conscious. Yeah.
Processes the information. Well, no, there's things without. Is there things without brains? Yeah. Well,
the things don't matter to those things.
Well, there's like what was that? The fucking caterpillar. That thing liquefies like all of its body, and then comes back as a butterfly and still can remember shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It just can't, like, just because it's. I mean, our brain's kind of liquidy. It's kind of mushy, you know.
You're like, there's still brains in there, man. Like,
yeah, what it is. I mean, the fact that they can remember stuff, there's obviously some kind of like chemical organization going on. I don't know if that they can remember. You mean as far? What do you mean by they can remember stuff? You mean like they can they have like they have instincts or like?
I'll give you a rundown real quick. Scientists did a little test where they took some caterpillars, they zapped them, right? They zapped them, blah blah blah. I think they emitted a smell, and then they zapped them. Smell, zap,
right.
Smell, zap. And then after they became butterflies, they emitted the smell, and the butterfly freaks the fuck out because it knows a zap's coming.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
That's pretty interesting, yeah.
Yeah, but they liquefy.
There's ways of what's even more interesting. Sorry, I don't mean to. That's a real dickish thing to say. But I was gonna say, like, one thing that I found really interesting was like they had like worms and they cut them in half, and then they got one. Sorry, they did the same. I think they did a similar thing with worms. But then they got one worm and they like fucking like they cut it in half, and then the two halves of the worm could still remember shit like in that way. And then they got one worm and they fucking like mutilated it up, and they fed it to another worm, and then that worm could like remember some of the shit that it ate from the mutilated up worm. Yeah, like that exactly.
Well,
like
that's weird.
Yeah.
Change of, like, that's memories.
So there's some kind of memory potentially within just like proteins or something. I guess like, that's all that would be left from a mutilated up worm, right?
Well, I guess what is memory but data? What is
Yeah, but I don't know how they would have stored that.
I mean, I understand. I don't know. Maybe it's like hey, you know what it could be? You know how like when you get a smell and you have a waft of like a memory or shit like that, like stuff floods back in. Like you used to go to you used to live out in the country and you smell hay like years after living in the city, and it flushes back that kind of you remember being on like back there. Like that weird, people have it. It's like a thing. Like, but I'm saying maybe in some way it's similar as far as like he eats the shit and it's something to do with the body, and it doesn't necessarily like remember exactly what's going on, but like if the worm ever, I don't know what the fuck a worm would remember, but let's just for instance say a worm crawled on an apple one day. It's getting weird.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like maybe somehow it could absorb that like like let's say if a worm could taste, let's say the first one tasted the apple and then the second one ate it and somehow it got like a residual like taste of that apple. Not necessarily remembering this, but it you know what I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Like that's I don't know. It's weird. That's a weird like way to try to explain it. it's really weird. So. But I know as humans we kind of do have like this weird, we smell something, taste something, see something, and we get like, I wouldn't say it's like memories, but we get a feeling, or we get a kind of sensation of either being young or back in it, like just, I don't know.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, like, you know. It's cool too, man. Like you notice it too, dude. Like sometimes I'll be sitting there and I was like, you know, and I try to remember, like when it kind of happens, I'll try to remember the event, like that I'm trying to, like that I'm, like that it's coming from. But it's really hard to remember it because I want to keep it.
Yeah, I think I know what you're saying. You mean just like like the feeling of like childhood or youth, or
yeah, like maybe you played like Mario games back when you were little and you put in a Mario game and like it's like a feeling wafts over you of almost like even for an instant, like you might not even notice it, and that's the problem. Like that's what sucks about it too. But like you feel like you're like, it's like, man, it almost felt like back when I used to play Mario, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Something in that general aspect. But
yeah,
like, by
for
the
sure.
time you notice it, man, it's like gone. And you're struggling to try to get it back or remember or even understand it, kind of, because it's very weird.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Kind of like deja vu. That's another one that does like weird shit. Like I have that all the time.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's those kinds of strange kind of feelings.
Yeah. And you know they say most like don't they say like most of every like thing we do or our body does that we have no control over is like a survival instinct. Like it's something to do with survival, or something to do with keeping it. It's something we do. It's like, you know what I mean. It's not. We can't control it, but it's something that humans do instinctively, or
yeah. There's a purpose for it. You mean, or
yeah, well, yeah. That's exactly what I mean.
There's some evolutionary purpose for it.
Yeah, even if it's an arbitrary purpose, like fucking maybe it's a stress reliever or some shit. Who knows?
Yeah, and like DMT, I found like a really interesting because our brain produces DMT, right? Like people associate it with like religion and God and like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I think that I'm not totally like spiritual. Like I definitely think that there's some spooky shit that happens with like psychology and you know what I mean?
You believe in
like,
ghosts?
Maybe. I don't like, not like, I don't know.
Well, here's what I can say. Like, do you believe in a plane of existence beyond our comfort? Like beyond, like I believe that. Like,
sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like that seems more plausible.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, that's basically when you ask the question of are they ghosts. It's pretty much what I think. When I'm like.
And you could say, well, that's where ghosts come from, and that's ghosts. I'd be like, I don't know if I would consider it what we call ghosts, like that in that aspect. But like, I guess you could. I guess you could say ghosts. It's just another way of kind of saying something we don't understand. So, but yeah. I would like to say like maybe a plane of existence, but I don't know if I would potentially call it ghost or haunted or whatever. That kind of
I know what you're saying.
Evil, good. I don't know. I wouldn't represent it with anything like that because who fuck knows, man. But ghosts themselves, nah, I'm not a huge believer in ghosts kind of shit.
Yeah, not in like the traditional sense, really. There just doesn't seem to be any evidence for it, I guess.
I'm also not a believer, like, one problem with, man, like, I don't know about...
Or not much evidence for it anyway. We go on, sir?
I was gonna say, I don't know about the whole believing is seeing. Like, that has always been a weird statement. Like, you gotta believe first, and then you'll see it. But I'd be like... I mean, sure, I'll see anything if I believe it first. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Orange is blue because I believe it, and it is. Like, no. But, I mean, I get some like I get religion like hey religion is great. It's a fantastic thing for community and like just keeping people like happy and shit, you know,
Yeah, I
whatever.
guess.
At least that's what I kind of see it being good for. It's anything like if I went and played volleyball, again,
I
stress
think when I
reliever,
look
just
at the
or
world as a whole, like I
peaceful.
think it's probably does more harm than good. I think, but it just
Sure.
seems that way. But I don't know.
For I mean, as far as the overall religion, yeah, I guess I was referring to more community, like you know what I
Well,
mean, like
all
bringing people
religion is
together, kind of
community,
shit.
but
Well, I mean,
well, maybe
yeah,
not.
but what you mean? Well, I get what you're saying. When you say corrupt, though, I'm saying like most of the people that go to church aren't corrupt people. It's most people within the church and or that are
But to
more
me,
likely
it's not
being corrupt.
corruption that I find the most sinister thing about it.
Hmm.
It's more like believing in things without with not needing any evidence in order to believe in
Well,
things.
that's exactly what I'm talking about. The whole believing is seeing. That exactly. I'm right there with you.
And so I
That's a
think
very
that
hard
that's kind of
sell
just
for
like
me.
quite a sinister way, or like a very it makes you very vulnerable to terrible ideas. Um, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's kind of funny? I remember back when I was like 16, 17. Me and my buddy Richard, we had we were into when you're young, you're into shit. Like I was into like karate and
Yeah,
just
man.
being
I'm
goofy
into
like that.
jujitsu these days.
Cool, right, right, and that's awesome. But I'm saying like back then it was, I never got big into it. I would have liked to, but I'm saying back then it was probably more of a thing that I just, I wasn't sure what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do now, but you get what I'm saying. It was something on my mind at the time. Anyways,
Yeah.
me and my buddy Richard knew this guy that worked at the mall, and we went up there one day, and he was apparently I didn't know the guy that well, but my buddy Richard apparently did, and he would say like the guy the guy was knew karate or knew some form of martial arts, and I
Hmm.
remember we went up there and we were. I don't know, man. We were kids, so we were like, we're gonna learn from this guy. Like, I think it was really dumb in a lot of ways. Like, if I recall, like he's gonna be our sensei,
Oh God,
or
how old
just
was this guy?
I don't, dude. He probably like he had to at least been like in his 30s, maybe,
Okay.
like because he had a big full goatee and he was working at the mall, so he was definitely, I mean, at least 25 to 30, maybe even a little older than 30. But he looked young, he looked like a clean shaven dude and all that shit for his age,
Okay.
or whatever. And but we were like gonna go learn apparently like try to learn karate from this guy or whatever, and we were gonna treat it like, or anyways. But I remember getting there, and the guy was like asking us questions. Like I don't know if like from your karate and shit, if they ever ask you like maybe philosophical things or like try to say some like Bruce Lee shit, like or
Right.
be one with the wata and be one with or something. But this dude, like I remember specifically, one of the things he was trying to say, like he was trying to explain this, but he asked me, he's like, "Have you ever seen your face? Like, have you seen your face? Have you ever looked at your face?" And I'm like, I've seen my face in a mirror. And he's like, no, no, but have you ever, like, can you see your face? I'm like, what? Right, bro, but that stuck out for me. Like, that's why I remember it so vaguely. It was so weird. I don't know what the fuck he was even getting at, but he was asking us, like, that was one of the, and it was something to do with karate, man. But, like, right then and there, that, once he asked me that, bro, that kind of killed everything about, like,
Oh
even
no.
Thailand.
It was
It
like
was
a
all a
bad
joke after
impression.
that, more or less, for me.
Karate, right?
Um, because we were trying to take it serious at
Of
first,
just like
but then
what? Just
like
like general, like any kind of Eastern influence, or just like.
well, we were young, so it didn't matter. We just this guy knows karate. Oh man, let's go.
No, no, but I mean, like, what did it? What do you? What do you think
Oh, oh.
Like, what do you think it killed for you? Like,
Well, for
what?
that
What
with
was the
that.
extent? What was the extent of the damages? I guess as far as like.
Oh. I mean, just it's more just illogical. It's
Yeah.
It sounds very, that's what killed it for me, man. It's so illogical. Like, motherfucker, yes, I've seen my face. I know what I look. I can feel it. I can touch it. It
Yeah.
matches what I've
But
seen.
so wait, it killed karate. It killed karate for you, or
It killed my interest in kind of learning, I guess, from somebody, and I guess yeah, a little bit with karate
oh
in the
really?
sense
Like
that
in any kind of mentorship
I
or
mean,
what?
come on, bro. Like it's weird whenever like someone's like again, if you went to someone to learn something and this guy's like, hey man, I'm gonna teach you boxing, right? And then you get there.
No, no, yeah. I
and,
mean, I just,
you know,
I don't know. It just sounds like a bit of a kind of tragedy, I guess.
oh, I
Because you
mean,
know what I'm
yeah, it's
saying,
kind
like
of
to,
sad.
if like
I still love
it
martial arts and shit. I just
No, I
never
mean,
got
yeah,
into
fine.
it.
Like, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm wondering if it's like the level of damage as far as like, because it would
Oh,
suck
it
if you
doesn't.
like then were like
No.
somehow against learning shit from people, you know, like.
No, God, no, no, hell no, dude. I'm very, dude. That's no, dude. Like, I'm not over here. Like, dude, if you got, like, again, man, I don't like to tell you things that you know, because I'm like, if I don't know shit about it, I'll let you know. I have no idea. Like I said, I'm not a fucking astronaut. I don't know.
Right,
Like,
but when
I
you
don't know
say
the,
oh, so when you say you get killed it for me, you just mean like karate essentially,
I just meant like he killed. I guess he killed a
or he
little
killed
bit
the
of the
trip,
idea
or the the
karate
trip that
being
you went with.
cool.
Right,
He killed the idea of karate, a little bit of karate being cool. But then I
right,
thought, like, what the fuck? Like it was almost like he brought into my mind like wackos are doing karate, and I met a
right,
few
right, right.
people who seemed very wacky-ish, who like either claimed karate. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
don't
I know
know
what
if
you're
they really
saying.
know karate, but
Yeah,
anyway,
wait, how old were you when this happened?
16, 17,
Oh yeah,
yeah, I guess
yeah,
teenager.
yeah. I know what you're
Yeah,
saying.
getting into that I was hanging out with a lot of people, and just getting in all like it was like, dude, the metrics came out, bro. Everybody want to be Neo, but
hmm
I used to watch Power Rangers, bro. I was trying to do backflips. Check it out. But no, that whole face thing just that was. And there was some other shit he said, bro, but I don't even remember that shit. Like once he said the face stuff, I think I probably tuned everything else out. I just remember distinctly him asking that, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like Bruce Lee, like he had some shit that was good though. Like don't stare at your finger. Like when you point it at the moon because you can't see what you need to look at. Like that makes sense. Like it's bathed in some form of lesson, but can you see your face? That
That's
doesn't
quite.
sound
That's
like
sounds
yeah.
nice and poetic. Don't stare at your finger when you're pointing at the moon.
Yeah, well, have you heard that quote from him?
No.
No, no, no. Listen, no. It goes that's not exactly it. I was like, that's not verbatim. It's something like he was trying to get this guy to concentrate, right? And here, let me get the quote because I don't want to
No,
butcher
it
the hell
sounds
out of it.
nice. Like it sounds like a nice quote, but it was just funny. It's just kind of funny as well.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, it is kind of funny. Let's see. It was in one of his movies. But it's a good quote. So let me. I just
Hmm.
don't want to say it. Oh yeah, yeah. He was saying, I forget what it was, but it was like distraction or something is like a finger pointing away to the moon. And he told him, don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory. Like, he's basically saying you can't, don't, like, try not to look at what's right in front of you and try to see the whole picture. It's pretty much that variation of don't try to see the whole picture, not just what's right in front of your face.
Mhm.
But it's a really like a pretty good quote for it.
Yeah. No.
It's like a finger pointing away to the moon. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory. Oh man, martial arts movies are so dead nowadays. It's terrible. At least for Western audience. I hear China still gets. I don't know if they're martial arts. So I know China gets a lot of big budget like war movies. I think something like that.
Oh, really?
And again, I'm like China. I don't know, man. I don't want to. The foreign box office, whatever it is.
I just found this cool smearing technique. So I was just getting like a using this smear tool with like a circle, and then just kind of like holding down the size shift button, and then just kind of like wiggling it bigger and smaller. And so while slowly smearing, and then I got these kind of cool like cloudy looking shapes.
Gotcha.
If you know what I'm saying.
Hold on, bro. I think I fucked my game up. Oh no, I didn't. Thank God. Oh my God, dude. I got distracted, man. I could have lost every goddamn thing I have. Like I was talking too much and I died at some point and I didn't even know I died. Woo, my body been after 15, 20 minutes your body disappears, dude. So yeah, that was sucked. All right, let me go get a horse for you, bro. What's your Conan at? Is it gotten any further?
I'm not sure. I'll have a look.
Just curious. You ain't got to play like any tonight or anything. I was just wondering. But it'd be awesome to have you, man. It'd be me, you, and the captain. You know, the more people, the better. And I want to go do some of these new dungeons, man. We've came across a few pretty interesting ones. Dude, every dungeon has a boss now, too, which is really interesting, because it used to not be that way. Or no, not every dungeon, I'm sorry, every cave has a boss. Like, every dungeon has a boss, but every cave has a boss now, too.
Always don't speak, I know just what you're thinking. I explain it. Don't tell me 'cause it hurts. Don't speak, I know what you're thinking. I don't give no reason. Don't tell me 'cause it hurts. Yep. Don't speak. Don't tell me 'cause it hurts.
Not bad for the New Zealand trucker, bro.
I like that song.
Nah, it is a really good song.
People hate on No Doubt, I don't know. Or at least, I don't know. My like uncultured oath friends, some of them. Or no.
Believe me, dude. Like, I'm not gonna say No Doubt in general had like a lot of good music because I don't know, honestly. I know No Doubt, and like.
Yeah, I think people just like to hate on Gwen Stefani for some reason. I don't know.
I don't know. See, that's why I say to people like, "What kind of music you like?" I mean, I like a lot of music, dude. I'd say I like a lot of probably popular music and a lot of different genres. That's probably the best way to say it. Like, what is some of the best music in fucking, like, you know, metal? I probably like it. What's some of the best music in whatever? I probably like it. Except for country. No, see, I like Bad to the Bones. I like Garth Brooks. Some of his is good. I mean, some of them, they got some top songs and shit, but like, I don't know. I like a lot of different shit.
Yeah, me too, boop.
Don't speak.
Yeah.
And I will remember you.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
You know that song?
Nah.
Will you remember me?
Oh, it rings a bell.
Don't let your life pass you by, and weep not for the memory. You know what's really funny? It's like you ever see one of those really sad commercials that comes on? That's like, you can help one of these children with just $1 a day.
Yeah.
It's one of those songs.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's one of those songs.
Do they?
But it's like it's from The Office though. Like the cover I'm doing is like I would say it's from The Office because they do a cover of it on The Office.
Okay.
But no, it's just one of those really sad songs, man. The songs where the little dog looks up at you and he's like, "Will you remember me?" Like. What's that? I think the other sad song is "In the Arms of."
Oh yeah. That one's always fucking like they're doing like Filthy Frank and shit. In the arms of the angel.
Fly away, some shit like that. Let's see. You know, you ever heard of? Dude, he's an old. Oh man, that's gonna bug me. I can't remember his name. He had like one maybe really good song. It was like a sad song, but it was really good. Okay, I can't remember his name. Eric Clapton. You know Eric Clapton?
Yeah.
Okay. He had the fucking what was it? And would you know my name?
Yeah. Tears in Heaven.
Yeah, that one. That was really good. Could it be the same? Yeah, that's pretty good. And then Selena had that like a really good good song, and then she got shot. Poor Selena. You know Selena?
Selena?
You
I don't know who that
Selena?
is. No.
Ooh, treat, man. So she had a really good song. Selena was a Mexican singer. She was shot. Like she sang in English and in Mexican, but she was really, really big. Like at a certain point, and like her manager, like her ex-manager, was like stealing money from her. Her manager was some fucking lady. I don't know, some lady she hired, or I don't know. She wasn't a manager before Selena, I don't believe. And somehow.
But she conned her or something.
Yeah, convinced her to be her manager and hold all her money and shit, and then took a bunch of money, got fired, and then like shot her afterwards and killed her.
Fuck.
Yeah, hold on. There's a whole movie, and I want to say who plays her. It's let me see, Selena. Let me type in Selena movie, and it'll tell me who plays her real quick. Well, maybe it won't. Let me see. Oh shit, let me just type in Selena. like in YouTube. No one wants to spell it out. I mean, she had a lot of good music, but I mean, I know there's one song that she had that, like, you know, they did it as, like, in the movie, it was, like, the last song she sings, and it's, like, I think it's one of hers, too. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, who the fuck plays her? Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez played Selena.
Okay. Man. I need some more time to myself, eh? It's like it's always just rocks around. It's like 10:45, and then it's like work in the morning, you know.
Wait, what's going on now? You work in the morning and then what?
And then it'll be 6 o'clock when I'm out, and then it'll be 10:45 again, and I gotta go to work.
Oh man, where do you work?
I work from home, but I work at Pickpock.
I don't know what that is.
It's a video game company.
Oh, right. I think you mentioned that. That's right, my bad.
I'm a game tester.
Right. That's cool.
They make like mobile, free to play games. Yeah, I guess so. But no, but I still gotta.
You gotta work every day, like all day, kind of.
Yeah, from 9 till 6. But you know, I gotta put out a day's work. You know. I want to have. I don't know. I want to work like a 4-day week. That would be ideal. And I need to start doing jiu-jitsu again now that we're in lockdown level 2. Because I just think better and clearer when I'm like doing jujitsu and exercising.
Here's that
Oh, my back
song
starts to hurt if I don't do it.
This is that song that she sings. This is like that one popular song that I think it's hers. Well, I'm just gonna play a little bit of it. I don't know if you can hear it. It's kind of low on my end. But yeah, no, that was one of her songs. That's like her probably best song, but it's a nice little song. Like,
Yeah, it sounds nice.
Yeah, and she like she was a good singer, and like she could sing again. And she did a lot of Spanish and like American songs. And
Yeah, it sounds like late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah, yeah. The movie came out in '97, so she died before that. Probably a few years, so probably like early '90s, early to mid '90s.
I was watching this early '90s movie called Lawnmower Man.
Wait, what's it called?
Lawnmower Man.
Oh yeah, Lawnmower Man. Yeah, I know.
Have you seen that shit?
It's a really good one. Blonde dude, blue
yeah,
eyes,
man.
little retarded.
Yeah. It's yeah, no, it's a pretty amazing film. Like, I was pleasantly really surprised. Cool. I was like, that wasn't bad. Like, the second one was like really bad, but the first one.
I mean, yeah, the second one was bad. I mean, you get what you get. That's all I could say. Like,
yeah, I guess
I'm
so.
glad they gave us something, but they could have done better.
yeah. Like, I still enjoyed it to some degree, but but as a bit like just structurally, like the workmanship of the film,
you
like
could tell quality dropped.
Yeah. Like just the script, like you couldn't hear what the characters were saying. Some of them just fucking mumbling sometimes. They were just like saying some random shit that didn't make any fucking sense. Like, and just
Yeah, I don't know. It was definitely the second one, or the first one's definitely the better.
yeah, it was just felt more polished.
But yeah, Lawnmower Man's really cool, man. Like, he they basically train his brain, right, and he becomes able to fucking
with drugs and VR.
He jacks into the VR, but eventually he's able to like. No, he's always jacked in, right? Yeah. He always jacks in, and they basically they were trying to get to where he was jacked in and pull him out, right?
Well, no, he does these like therapy sessions with like drugs and VR.
Yeah.
And they make him smart, and then he gets, and then they give him they want him turning him into a weapon, the evil like suits want to turn him into a weapon because of money or something, whatever. They're just generic corporate bad guys.
But isn't it the result of the VR and the drugs that are giving him the
that's what making him smarter and giving him powers and stuff. But also the guys give the, what do you call them? The evil corporate guys also give him like drugs that make him aggressive.
Oh right, okay, yeah, okay. I thought maybe something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Because
Pierce Brosnan doesn't want to give it to him.
It's fresh in your mind, bro. I haven't seen that shit in years.
Yeah, no, we saw it just like on the weekend or like the last week sometime. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So I know he started becoming aggressive and shit. I remember he starts going crazy, kind of. And then whenever he's doesn't he start banging his the lady he's working for, and whenever they he's very I guess manly-ish toward her. So he's aggressive. He starts
Well, no,
showing a dominant side.
He has sex with his neighbor, but with the the lady with like the lemonade. But
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he has sex with. I don't think. I don't know.
Well, don't they? I thought they showed him like in their scene where they show him like in the bedroom or some shit. Like,
Yeah,
he's, like, I guess,
he's with the neighbor. He's with the neighbor.
and he's like yeah, and he's like staring out the window or something, isn't he? Like, and they zoom in on him or something like that.
I'm not
I
sure.
want to say like I don't know.
But
I,
he
like,
has
see
sex
that
with the
scene
he
for
has
some
sex with the
reason.
neighbor, and then he takes the lady into VR with him, and then he like fries her brain or some shit.
Yeah,
Like
but
by
that was a
accident.
different lady, right? That was like one of the. That was somebody else, right?
Yeah, that was his neighbor, not the good lady that he works with. I don't think that he gets.
Yeah.
He doesn't get with the lady that he works. I think Pierce Brosnan probably gets with some like I don't know. I can't even. I don't think he gets.
Yeah. Pierce Brosnan was in there.
Pierce
Holy
Brosnan
shit,
gets with
okay.
some chick at the end.
Yeah, he's the main dude, yeah.
Yeah, and the
Wow.
whole time we were trying to remember this guy's name, but we just kept calling
I
him
always
Pierce
seem
Brosnan
James
because we couldn't
Bond.
fucking remember remember
I know
Job's
it's-
name, but we couldn't remember Pierce Brosnan's name.
Yeah, again, like Pierce is just like never like. You talking about old James Bond over there? Oh yeah. Like I don't know. I always see him like as James Bond. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really hard to. He was in one movie that not too long ago. that
Mamma
was,
Mia?
like, okay. Huh?
Mamma Mia.
No, hell no, I don't think I've seen that. No, did you see that one with Owen Wilson? The like thriller movie where like him and his kids and his wife go to like I don't know what country it was, Asia, China, Brazil, wherever. They go there because he's like becoming a new worker at a water place or a water plant place or something to do with water, I believe it was. But anyways, he goes there and like on the day or like the second day of him being there, there's like a big riot going on or like a riot starts and it's against his company and it's like a lot of the people there like are against their company and they start fucking getting guns and going after the corporates and fucking start killing people and like because they don't want him there and shit. So basically the whole movie is like Owen Wilson is getting back to his family at the hotel, and they're just trying to escape that country, basically.
Yeah, it
It's
rings a
really-
bell.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a really good, interesting movie because Owen Wilson doesn't do too many movies like that. Like I was very surprised to see him in there, like a movie like that. Or like the dude from Wedding Crashers, like fucking does all the comedy movies.
Oh, I think Owen Wilson's a great actor. I'm always I don't know. I always enjoy him
He
in
did
the
a
film
really good
season.
job. Yeah,
Like,
you should I would definitely check it out if you ain't seen it.
Yeah, I the last film I saw Owen Wilson in was called like I can't remember what it was about, but it was about some. I mean, sorry, I can't remember what it was called, but it was about this kid that had like some facial deformities, and he was the guy and the Owen Wilson was the dad. I can't remember. It was just about like the trials and tribulations of this kid that had facial deformities.
Gotcha. Doesn't sound familiar. Interesting. But no, Pierce Bronson was in that movie with Owen Wilson, and he was like he was a guy who lived in the country that they went to. He was American, but he had a big beard, and like he was like one of those drinks all the time at the bar, wearing Hawaiian shirts and kind of guys, But then like turns out to be a badass assassin kind of dude.
Right.
I mean, he wasn't really a badass assassin, but he was like an army kind of veteran guy who helped him out a little bit. But it was cool to see him. Like he disappeared more in that part than he does in most parts for me. I think the beard helped, but also like, he put on the character really well and shit. I guess, it's really hard for me to see him. And, I'm definitely like, hey, look, it's James Bond. Every time I see him, like, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Pierce Brosnan. My bad. Like, I feel like Pierce Bronson could have been who is it? Archer. Archer, I feel like they look kind of alike, even though Archer's a cartoon. Like, you know what I mean? They're both like really clean shit. I don't know. They both got the blue eyes, right? Didn't he have blue eyes?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
something like that. I don't know. I feel like that like he could do a live action version of him.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, I'm not sure where else I can. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying. I don't know. I'm trying to think of an actor that would play Archer, but what's his name? The guy that played the Human Torch.
Oh yeah.
That guy, and like Captain America, whatever.
Yeah, I see that. Archer's very plain faced. He's got a very average kind of. I mean, it's average to an extent. Like, you know what I mean? It's just it's got very like. It's got like features that are, or I would say like if you were in a character creator creating a muscly guy, like Archer's features would be like the base kind of features.
Right. Yeah.
That
I mean.
makes sense. Like there wouldn't be too big of a like his chin is the only thing that really is like a little more standouty because it's like the butt chin kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, he's like your average chiseled like white dude. Like, who got raped? Yeah, Archer got raped, bruh, by some other agent.
He got what? He got raped by some other agent.
Yeah, like he had this agent in his work that he basically came up with. They were in the same, training school and all that shit together, and they were like best friends. And his buddy left their agency to work for another agency. Like after they were friends for like 5 or 6 years, whatever. They worked together for a while, and then in one of the episodes, Archer has to find him. He finds him, and then home dude gets like pinned under a tree and is about to die. And Archer's like right there, and the dude's like, he's like, Archer, I have to tell you. He's like, remember back in the day, whenever da da da. And he, Archer's like, yeah, well, what about it? And he's like, remember how you got really drunk? And you passed out, and and he's like basically telling him how he's like, I took you in the other room, and Archer's like, dude, for the love of God, if you love me, if you truly love me, he's like, you will not finish that sentence. He's like, Archer, I'm dying, I gotta tell you. It's terrible. And then all you get is a scream from Archer, but that's good enough. You kind of know what happened. Yeah, Archer crazy shit. Oh man, the new Rick and Morty came out. I caught like half of it. I didn't see the first 10 minutes.
The facehugger one, or?
No, the new one. It's like I guess. Oh, it's the Vat of Acid episode.
Oh, I haven't seen that. It hasn't come out yet, here yet. I don't think it comes out on Wednesday.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I think anyway.
Well, I would think what would come out. What time is it for you?
Nighttime,
daytime?
11 o'clock at night. Yeah.
Midnight? It's before midnight. Like it's probably on right now for you.
Maybe.
Because it aired today, so technically it's gotta. I would think it would air today for you. Because my problem with that.
I feel like it came out on Wednesday last time, but I'll have.
Well, I'm saying
I'll have a look.
It's weird. It's weird because why wouldn't you just watch it? Like if I was somebody and I knew it came out, like if Rick and Morty came out in your country before here, I'd be watching it on something where I can get it from your country.
Right. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't know. I guess I'm just prepared to wait for it to come out on Netflix rather than going through the effort of trying to find a potentially shitty quality of it.
No, you're fine. I was just saying it's weird if shit airs differently. You'd think it would air at the same time. So
Yeah, I know what you mean. It is weird. Because then exactly, if you would just be more likely to pirate it.
Or yeah, but then also what's to stop say we watch Rick and Morty and tomorrow you get on Google and in your country it's like, hey, did you see the Rick and Morty episode where they spoiler?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh well, it hasn't even came out yet, dude. What the fuck? That shit would be a little annoying. But I mean, I guess it does that. It happens the same way for video games and everything, I guess. Whatever, that's lame though. We should all get it at the same time. Man.
I'll see if it's it might well be released.
Funny, there's a
Oh,
It's
there's
like a
people.
long
I've got 2
month.
people watching my stream. What are you watching my stream for? I don't know what to fucking make in dreams now anymore. I had some ideas, but no, I don't know. I guess I. The things that I want to do, I just like. I'm so bored of making them that I don't want to commit. So now I'm just sort of like messing around with like aesthetics, I guess. Just like I find it fun sometimes to just kind of grab stuff and Frankenstein it together and just get like faster with the controls, like more.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, that's always great, man. Just to, yep.
But I think it's more fun to kind of use the move controllers, or I feel like I should be getting better with them because that feels like.
I hear a lot of people in comments saying to like start like just try them and shit a lot. So I don't know. I'm so used to my DS, man.
What should I make? Maybe I should just make a bunch of alien dicks. I don't know.
Maybe not on the stream. Get in trouble.
I only say that now because I don't know, I had some like a frog foot and one of its toes. I pulled up one of its toes and it looks like an alien dick. No. Alright, that can just be a little leg.
I just don't know what's like. I mean, as far like it's so weird for me because like I think the game's got to. I don't know what the game's gonna start with, a character. Like, what's fun though? Because I can make a building that you can run around in, that you don't do anything but run around in. Sure. Like, oh, I can make you jump. Sure. I can make you platforms that you jump across like over and over again. I mean, that could be fun to an extent. I mean, I can make a lot of things that are simple like that, but I feel like.
Well, I don't know. Like
Sorry, go ahead.
I think for me, I think about like like how to kind of push the medium, you know, like like what's possible with dreams. Like I don't want to necessarily make another platformer. I mean, it'd be fun to make if I were to, like, I'd prefer to make an animation before I made a platformer. But like if I were to make a game, I'd want to make it like some kind of like, I don't know, educational game or do something that is different, you know, like if I don't know, something that like it was based on like chemistry or something that I'm interested in, or philosophy, or like
you should do see what
critical thinking.
Is like, well, you should make like an alchemy thing, or like, dude, you can make like a whole science table, bro, and just be like,
no, exactly.
You can make files that you put together that calls things, like, you could do that. It wouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can really want to. Is this? I don't know. Like,
well,
I'm not sure.
Even cooler. I was thinking like, like you can make like a if you're wanting to do like make a scientist game. You're an evil genius.
Like, yeah, I guess so.
And part of the like you have to go to a chemistry set and put stuff together and learn about things, and you have to solve problems just based on physics and I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that could be fun. I think really I just want to work with people, I think, at this point. Like, I only really enjoy doing things when I'm like a real extrovert, I guess, in that regard. Like, I just don't enjoy working on that kind of thing by myself, I don't think. But, I kind of like, I don't mind just, like, chatting with peeps like I am. Like, right now I'm just kind of fucking around with sculptures and just, like, making shapes and moving them around and cloning them and putting them over there and fucking with them. I'm making a kind of spidery thing at the moment. Or I don't know what it will be.
I can't see, it's too dark. I kind of want to jump on there and just fuck around. Like, that's all I do when I get on there now, man. Is just mainly I fuck around sculpting because it comes.
That's what I do.
Games come down to so like. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It feels like it's so much work and for what in some regards. Or at least when I look at like what do you call it? Some of the like when I look at what people have made, they are probably really dedicated as far as like because I'm at like level 53, and I see the stuff that some of the level 150 something come up with as far as games, and I'm just like, like I don't. The things that only really impress me on in Dreams is the like animations really that I can think of. Like as far
See,
as
that's
games, and that's why I guess I want to make animations is because I when I look at what people have made that's actually impressive, it's just like it's an animation or it's a sculpture, you know. Like the gameplay, I don't know. There's like one. I kind of like Hammer Panic is one of my favorite game because it's just like an offline. I like the fact that I guess it's the physics that I found kind of funny. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, that's a clever. It's I think it's more of a clever kind of game, and
Mm.
that's fun. It's fun to play as well. But it's definitely clever. Puzzle pieces hammering down like that's pretty
Yeah, and
good.
they all kind of like go everywhere, and then like they all slip back up together. I just
I
thought
like
that
the
was a cool visual
my
effect.
favorite's the last one with the puzzle pieces. Like we're gonna knock them
Yeah,
all
that's what I mean.
pieces and stuff.
That's the only part that I like as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
or it's
yeah, yeah.
the main part that I like at least with that.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, that wouldn't be hard to do. Like, if you imagine what they're doing, they're basically all they did was they got a hammer, they gave it an animation of hammering, like let's say hammering down, so it smacks down when you press X or something.
Mm.
Plus you have the jump around, which you could say is an animation or maybe some form of the physics. But basically, when the hammer slams down, it must be telling, or one way you could do it is since the floor would be each an individual piece, you could on each of those pieces could be a microchip that basically says when A comes into contact with me, I'm gonna tell this object to move. Right now, movement's off, so it's not going anywhere. And so when that hammer slams down, what it's doing is it's sending out an invisible like block that has a what do you call
Right.
that shit?
I know what you're saying. Like an
Zone.
emitter or something.
It's an emitter on it, and it emits a block that has a zone.
Yeah.
And that zone comes into contact with the ground, and that zone is telling each of those, "Hey, move!" And each of those is falling or disappearing.
Uh huh.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that
At
makes
least that's
sense.
the way that I could see them doing it.
Mhm.
So, good.
Oh man, my new favorite on like what do you call it? Gesture is like bumping the primary move controller with the base of the secondary move controller, like the top of the primary with the base of the other, and then it immediately puts you into color mode, and then you can change the color of the sculpt, and you can just pick up like just tap on a color you've already like sample a color you already have, and then just like I don't know, it's so good.
I gotta hide my body. That's the most I've ever been able to make. 450 fucking foundations at once, dude. It's crazy. Crazy. Only I've ever been able to make it once is like 120. Like, I'm fucking triple that. Dude, I should have made a bunch of fucking blocks already. There they are.
No, no,
Three.
no. Wait.
No. Dodging
I have a new follower, eh? Eh? Why, Delilah, is it so yellow? I mean, sorry, is it so green? I'm like clearly picking yellow. Green's all the way over there. And yet, the pure color is so green. I don't know. I guess it's green. It just has to be green. Ah, it's so bullshit. Maybe it's the color of the light. You know what? That's probably exactly what it is.
what?
It's probably like the little light. I need to put it into like, what do you call it? Studio mode or some shit.
Fruity Pebble sending me a party? No, dog. Only one of you. Is this party locked? I think so.
I don't fucking know, bro.
Oh, no, it is, yeah. Why you locked in the party, bro?
Oh, did I lock the party?
Keep out, man.
I didn't mean to. I don't even know what if I just...
No, it's alright.
Hang on, I can unlock...
Yeah,
Here, I'll unlock it. How do I unlock the party? Party settings... what? Public, yeah, I don't mean to. Maybe it's just a default setting or some shit. Party rock is in the house tonight. Who should I invite? I'll invite the Dreamiverse. Actually, that's not a bad idea in the past, so I should just invite the Dreamiverse to our parties. Our PSN parties. You can just invite communities, so you can just send an invite to the Dreamiverse, and so whenever anyone goes to the Dreamiverse community, they'll see our party, and they'll be able to join it. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's the new feature. Dreams 2 Reality Creators Board. Sure, I'll invite them as well. Oh, we're the only one there. Party rockers in the house tonight. Oh, you're playing Dreams 2? What? I feel this. I feel like, I don't know. For me, animation is the only thing that is kind of compelling because I just want to have stuff to show off to people. Basically, okay, as the future progresses, these tools are going to get better and more easy to use. So the skills that we should be working on, I think, are just the kind of softer design skills or aesthetics skills. You know what I mean? Or game design skills, rather than getting too bogged down on how to do a certain thing really well in a certain kind of software, if you know what I'm saying.
When you're saying do stuff that we know first because they're gonna make shit easier, so that's harder stuff's gonna get easier later.
Well, I mean the tools are gonna get better as far as
Yeah.
there's gonna be less kind of drudgery, of trying to make shit work. So, with that in mind, I feel like it's better to get I don't know, just more soft skills as far as design concepts and learning creative processes of of design iteration and stuff like that, if you know what I'm saying. The different steps it takes to make a thing look good, or how colors work and stuff, or boop boop.
I'm messing with character animation right now.
What'd you say?
So I'm messing with animation right now.
Nice.
That's the only thing that I could think of in my head to what would again, you can make it seem really nice, but if a guy's just walking around it, I mean, it's not much of a.
No, you just put it on your Instagram, or whatever, or a YouTube video.
I had a few things that I could release that aren't done that are just something to walk around and see that look kind of cool, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't want to release anything.
What do you? I don't know. For me, it's
my museum is pretty much.
Yeah.
That museum I had a while back. It's sad, but it's done pretty much. So. That and then that hotel I started, kind of, as far as just a scene. It came to doesn't do anything, but.
Well, so I feel like it's good to make things that will impact people's lives in a positive way. Which is why I think I want to do educational stuff, because I feel like it'll make the world better.
I get that. You know, I mean, I don't know if it's fun. I guess. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
it'd be
saying. Like I
fun
was gonna
to
say
fun to watch.
earlier. Well, I was gonna say earlier. It's like I know, but educational, like I'd say, it's like a hard sell unless you got a really good way to. You know, it's hard to. I'm saying it's hard to keep people's attention.
I guess so. I
Like
mean,
when it
it's
comes to
content that
certain
I enjoy.
things.
Like I enjoy watching like educational cartoons and stuff like that.
No, I get that, but like it depends on the content. You're right. Like if it's something about like if I clicked on it and it was something about economics or something, I'm probably not going to be interested. So my
Depends on it.
point is like a
I would
person,
be
yeah.
interested in economics depending on how it's presented. Like, I
Well,
guess.
see, again, like I'm saying first person. Like personally, I probably wouldn't be that interested in it. Like not, I
Okay.
just wouldn't be interested in it. I don't know. Same thing with like NASCAR or something, or I'm just not interested
Oh
in
yeah,
it.
I'm not really that interested in
Uh,
NASCAR shit
but
unless it's
my
really
point,
like
whatever.
focused on like.
Baseball, I mean, it's a sport, but I'm not crazy
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But my
No, I
point
know you
is,
say.
you know, and I just think educational, like if it said, hey, educational, you know, video or something, I'm just saying I think that's a hard sell
Yeah,
amongst
I
people
wouldn't market it like that.
playing
You'd
games.
market it like I don't know,
Yeah.
uh,
Like,
the like from
like,
cell to singularity. You know, like the way, like all the different steps between like it when a cell is made to
but you're
like the.
saying, I would say focus on like game first and the educational second, but like make it
But I don't
educational.
necessarily want to make a game because I feel like
Well, uh,
I don't know, making a game would be very time consuming, and
oh, well, I meant
I don't
like, I
think you
mean,
would
even
learn.
animation. Mhm.
I don't know that you
Well,
would
what I mean
necessarily.
is like even if you did an animation, like if it was a guy like stealing money or something and running away from people through that animation, you could periodically put in educational things. Or if it's a man going to the driving to work or you know getting on a bus, like just whatever. Like you know, oh man, okay, he's got to walk to the bus station, and then you know as he walks, you know, says hi, fucking trips. I don't know, spills his juice fucking, you know, into electricity, which shocks, or, you know, however you want to show it. But,
Yeah,
like, yeah, you're not, like, you're marketing it as, like, a guy takes a trip to the store, and then it's an educational video. Like, kind of thing. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, it's not, you know, you learn shit kind of as you watch it, but you're not, it's almost like you don't know you're learning shit. Like, you're
Yeah,
subliminal, man. Get me in your
you should
head.
watch like what's it called? Do you watch any like Curse Cassette videos?
What videos?
Curse Cassette. It's like Curse Cassette. It means in a nutshell in German, and they're my favorite infographic animation video series. You might like them. It's really good. They're fun. They're funny as well. Like they're just like short animated videos. I'd recommend them.
They try to get the
Yeah, look
point
it up
across really,
and
really
look up
easy.
in a nutshell.
I'll look it up in just a second.
Yeah, you look up why are you alive, life energy and ATP. There's also one of the coronavirus and there's one what's it cancer, milk. I don't want to look at the one on milk. All right, I'm gonna need to think about going to sleep.
I'm so glad you could join us for tonight's visit to Rainbow.
That's not. This isn't.
It's a great place to go and soak up the atmosphere, especially when the rain is bucketing down outside.
It's
It's
Headspace.
a haven of calm, of coziness.
Do you have Netflix?
It's almost as though it exists
Yeah, man.
outside
Have
normal
you seen
space
that
and
weird?
time.
It's called like Absurd Planet.
More than just the weather.
I think. Have you seen that? It's
What?
educational. It's really cool. Have you seen it? It's a show called Absurd Planet. I think.
No, I haven't heard. I'll look at it. Wait. Ooh,
Oh my
look it
god,
up.
dude, you'll really freaking enjoy it. It's basically like a nature kind of documentary thing about animals and shit, but it's the way they show it is like the animals will talk to you sometimes and shit, and it's like, hey, I'm a lemur. I like to climb trees. You know, there's like this weird shit, bro. And then Mother Nature's like the narrator, so she's like, aren't the creatures I made on the planet weird? Like shit like that. It's really cool.
Okay.
Man. It's
I'll have a
very,
look. I think I just said on the fucking remote. I just saw my fucking
Dude,
remote these days.
one thing I
Here it
learned
is.
in there that was really fucking gross is that apparently there's like sponges that live at the bottom of the ocean, but the sponges are like alive and they're really long, like long yellow like circular sponges, and they have like an anus, and apparently there's a fish that likes to swim into the fucking anus of the sponge and live in it.
Oh yeah, I know the one.
But I'm saying I learned that from watching that, bro. It's
Right.
crazy. It's
Nice.
fucking, and the way they do it is like showed is just funny as hell.
Over the last decade, milk has become a bit controversial. Some people say it's a necessary and nutritious food, vital for healthy bones. But others say it can cause cancer and lead to an early death. So, who's right? And why are we drinking it anyway?
You should definitely look up In a Nutshell and watch all their videos, man. They're really good as well, though.
Milk is the basis of
Yeah,
every
I'll
mammal's
check
diet
them
after
out.
birth when our
I'm
digestive
animating.
systems are immature
Oh,
and
good.
small.
Like,
Basically, it's power food to kickstart our bodies and help us grow. Milk is rich in fat, vitamins, minerals, and milk sugar, lactose. On top of that, for a while after birth, it also contains antibodies and proteins that protect us from infections and regulate our immune system. But it's a lot of effort for mothers to produce. Eventually, humans stop drinking mother's milk and transition to the diet of their parents. This is how it's been for thousands of years. Until about 11,000 years ago, when our ancestors settled down in the first agricultural communities. Soon, they domesticated the first dairy animals, goats, sheep, and cattle. They found that dairy animals are able to eat useless and abundant stuff and turn it into nutritious and tasty food. This made a huge difference in terms of survival, especially in hard times. So groups that had milk available had an evolutionary advantage. And through natural selection, it changed the genes of communities who consumed a lot of it. This adaptation has to do with a specialized enzyme, lactase. Babies have a lot of it in their system, so they can break down the milk sugar lactose and digest milk easily. But the older we grow, the fewer lactase enzymes our body produces. Worldwide, about 65% of the population do not have the enzyme after infancy, which means they are not able to digest more than about 150 milliliters each day. This lactose intolerance is not spread evenly around the world, though. In some East Asian communities, for example, it's up to 90%. In Northern Europe and North America, the rates are the lowest overall. There are probably a few reasons for this uneven distribution. The trait was first introduced by random mutation, which happened independently of each other in a few populations. The fact that farming replaced hunting and gathering more and more created natural selection pressure. People who were able to digest lactose had more foods at hand, which was an advantage. The migration of dairy farmers to the north then spread it further, which probably pushed back populations there that didn't have the trait. Okay, but if milk has been a valuable part of our diet for thousands of years, why is it so controversial? There are a number of claims regarding the negative and positive health effects of milk. The negative ones cover a wide variety. From brittle bones to cancer and cardiovascular diseases to intolerance and allergies. So how do they hold up? Some older studies found a connection between milk and a high risk of breast, colon, and prostate cancer. But meta-analyses found no impact on your cancer risk. On the contrary, the calcium in milk might even have a protective effect against colon cancer. Although this could be calcium in general, it's not clear milk plays a role in this effect. Only studies on prostate cancer showed an increased risk for people who consumed more than 1¼ liters of milk a day. But again, the association is inconsistent, and other studies don't find any effect. We discuss these studies in more detail in our sources document. All in all, the research seems to show that if you drink between 100 to 250 milliliters of milk per day, cancer is not a concern. Similarly, meta-analyses could not find any impact from milk or dairy products on your risk of heart disease, stroke, or your total mortality. Some studies even suggested that high blood pressure might be rarer in people who eat a lot of dairy, although the evidence is not strong enough to claim this with confidence. The case gets more complicated though when we look at bones. A number of studies found neither positive nor negative effects for adults. What most people worry most about though are harmful amounts of pesticides, antibiotics, or hormones. There are hormones in milk, but only in very low concentrations. For example, to get the same amount of hormones as from the pill, you'd need to drink about 5,000 liters of milk, and even if you did, most hormones would be destroyed by your digestive system before they could affect you. Which is the reason why so much medication is coated to protect it from our digestion. For pesticides and antibiotics, there are regulations in most parts of the world that only allow completely harmless amounts. Milk that surpasses these thresholds is not allowed to go on the shelf, so there's nothing in particular to worry about. Besides allergies and those suffering from lactose intolerances, the best known negative effects of milk are probably acne and general discomfort after drinking milk or eating dairy products. And here, the effects are very real. For example, skimmed milk has been found to statistically increase the rate of acne by 24%. Allergies against milk products are especially prevalent among children, with 1 in 18 kids in Germany been found to statistically acne and general discomfort after drinking milk or eating dairy products. And here, the effects are very real. For example, skimmed milk has been found to statistically increase the rate of acne by 24%. Allergies against milk products are especially prevalent among children, with 1 in 18 kids in Germany suffering from them. In general, these allergies tend to get better or disappear as they grow older though. Okay, is milk healthy then? Milk, no matter if it comes from mothers, cows, sheep, goats or camels, is a nutrient-dense food. It contains all necessary macronutrients and many micronutrients. Especially in regions where people struggle to get enough calories, milk can contribute to a healthy life and lower child mortality. For those living in the developed world, in general, milk is not harmful if you are not allergic or intolerant to it. Especially for children, it's a good way to get large amounts of calcium, and for vegetarians, it's a good source of vitamin B12 and B vitamins in general. This does not mean there are not other alternatives with the same effect. You do not need to drink milk to be healthy. Milk is also definitely not a substitute for water. Milk is power food, and the additional calories from drinking a lot of it on a regular basis can contribute to being overweight. Especially flavored milk or chocolate milk is more comparable to beverages like lemonade than a healthy snack. And there's another thing to consider. Milk production has a significant impact on the global climate. About 33% of cropland is used to feed grazing animals, including dairy cattle. Even though the carbon footprint of dairy products has declined since 1990, dairy production is still responsible for 3% of all greenhouse gas emissions, even more than all aeroplanes combined. Milk is a huge industry, and sadly most of its production in factory farms causes incredible suffering. Cows are impregnated over and over, separated from their young shortly after birth, and slaughtered once their tortured bodies are not productive anymore. We can't ignore that much of the milk we consume stems from an industry that is basically torture and contributes to climate change. What about plant-based milk? In terms of protein levels and nutritional value, only soy milk can compare to cow milk. The others need to be artificially enriched to reach similar levels of vitamins and calcium. So they can be an alternative to milk. And another option might be available soon. Several startups have created non-animal milk that is nutritionally identical to dairy milk, for example through fermentation by gene-modified bacteria. This lab-grown milk can even be turned into cheese, something that plant-based alternatives struggle with because they lack casein and whey protein, the key ingredients that give dairy its taste and structure. The environmental impact is a different story though. Many milk alternatives use significantly less energy, land and less water to produce, so they have a much lower environmental impact than animal milk. If you want to have the lowest possible negative impact on the planet, the best choice is whatever milk alternative is regional. As with almost any topic, milk is complicated. It's not harmful for the majority of the population, and it's crucial for many people around the world. It's good